Well, he is a cruel, criminal, and mentally unstable man. And Duty to Warn was a book that came out when he was first in office. Psychiatrists across the country who don't ever really diagnose people that they don't serve personally came together and made a book, Duty to Warn, to tell the world what a narcissistic, mentally ill person he is. And I think he's the worst thing that ever happened to the United States, and his cruelty...
Rosie O'Donnell just delivered a blistering critique of Trump so intense, Mar-a-Lago might need emergency backup. She held nothing back, calling him out for his nonstop rants, reality TV fantasies, and mounting legal troubles. But brace yourself, Trump's response was immediate, explosive, and completely unfiltered. All caps tweets? Check. Strange insults? Absolutely. It is a showdown, and Rosie took full control of the moment.
What's going on, mainstream media? You're not doing your job. And you haven't since he came down that escalator. You haven't been doing your job. If you would have told the truth about him from the beginning and stood up to the lies that Mark Burnett sold America on The Apprentice, we wouldn't be in this position. But you equated, you normalized Trump, and that's what Time Magazine did. Man of the Year, Donald Trump. Well, you, Time Magazine. You, seriously.
The internet did not just react, it erupted. The moment Rosie took aim at Trump, social media turned into chaos. The clip was pure dynamite, her words hit so hard. Even Trump's signature tint seemed to falter. Within minutes, reactions flooded in laughter, shock, and a wave of all-caps responses from his most devoted followers.
Where were you when, in the 2016 primaries, Trump starts insulting you? Did you see that live, or did someone tell you Trump's talking about you right now?
I was watching it live.
You were watching it live?
And my kids were in the room with me.
Ugh.
And they said, Mom, what, did he just say you? I go, yes, he did. And he's not only insulting me, he's insulting any woman that he doesn't think lives up to his standards of what a woman is. And that's the kind of person that this man is, and why he's a danger to the world.
So what sparked this fiery exchange? Years of built-up tension. Trump has been targeting Rosie since the days of flip phones, repeatedly throwing insults and name-calling like a broken record stuck in the past. But this time, Rosie was not just responding, she was launching a full-scale comedic counterattack. Whether it was one too many late-night rants or just the right moment to strike, she made sure her response left an impact.
Like the Rosie O'Donnell debate. I like debating when you have a crowd. Remember the Rosie O'Donnell?
Yeah, that was very funny. Megan,
crazy thing, Megan. That was a hell of a question, man. If I didn't come up with that answer,
it was a great line.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't.
And when I said that, the place went crazy. And she kept
funny.
talking. No, she had like 10 of the...
Yeah, well, Megan said you said it to other people and you admitted you did. But it was...
And settle it she did. The internet erupted instantly, and within an hour, the video was skyrocketing faster than Trump's legal expenses. TikTok was flooded with remixes, reaction videos, and Gen Z breaking it all down in 30-second clips. Trending hashtags took over, from Rosie Goes Nuclear to Trump Meltdown 2025. Even late-night hosts barely had time to wrap up their monologues before rewriting them to include Rosie's scathing remarks.
Are you watching this moron speak? Can he form a coherent sentence? He is the worst thing that ever happened. Period. And he's just babbling like an incoherent asshole. He's like Dr. Doom. He's the worst thing. Oh, you know what? He just lies, lies, lies. I am done with Donald Trump.
Mainstream media wasted no time jumping in. CNN called it O'Donnell's most ruthless takedown yet, while Fox News scrambled to frame it as just another case of Hollywood bullying. Meanwhile, comedians, celebrities, and even random social media users who had nothing to do with the situation could not resist weighing in. This was not just a viral moment, it was a full-scale internet spectacle.
I watched him yesterday. He couldn't put two sentences together. And it's not an age thing. It's a competence thing. He can't talk. And, of course, he has to debate, I guess. I hope he's going to debate. I'm going to debate. You know, I don't want to debate people that I'm 60 points up on because what's the purpose in doing that?
Does that mean no presidential primary debates for you?
Well, I don't see it. Look.
None? How about do the one just before Iowa? Do it. I'll moderate it.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate that. You know, like you did with the Rosie O'Donnell.
Would it be a deal breaker for you?
Look,
Would it?
Look,
Would it?
The people want a smart president. Ronald Reagan didn't do it. Nixon didn't do it. Nobody does it. I mean, like you asked me a question when you were moderating the debate for Fox, that frankly, if I didn't come up with the answer only Rosie O'Donnell, I would have had a problem with that. That was a bad...
Rosie's clip was everywhere. People were sharing it like it contained the secret to eternal youth. Facebook groups were quoting it, Reddit was analyzing every line like a historical event, and even LinkedIn got involved, with professionals trying to spin it as a masterclass in public speaking. The only one not enjoying the chaos, Trump himself. While the world grabbed popcorn, he was likely pacing through Mar-a-Lago, venting to his aides, and drafting an all-caps rant about has-been comedians. And let's be honest, he definitely watched the clip on repeat, seething with every replay. By the end of the day, the damage was done. Rosie dominated headlines, hijacked social media, and left Trump scrambling for a response. But let's face it, there is no real comeback from getting verbally dismantled in front of the entire internet.
Or whatever. And so he held a press conference to announce whether or not she was going to retain her crown. Yeah. And then she started to cry.
She did.
So I just want to thank Donald is giving me a second chance.
And it's brilliant.
And there he is, hair looping, going, everyone deserves a second chance. And I'm going to give her a second chance.
Your hair is perfect.
Rosie O'Donnell versus Donald Trump is the Hollywood versus politics feud that just will not fade, a never-ending heavyweight battle where neither side is willing to back down. Nearly 2 decades of relentless verbal jabs, social media clashes, and headline-making meltdowns have kept this rivalry alive. And the most amusing part? Trump still cannot move on. It all began in 2006 when Rosie, then co-hosting The View, took one look at Trump's public antics and decided she had seen enough. She called out his failed business ventures, inflated ego, and, let's be honest, his unfortunate hair situation. This was not just lighthearted teasing. She tore into him like a late-night roast. And Trump, true to form, completely lost it. That single moment sparked an obsession. Trump did not just fire back. He declared all-out war. He stormed onto talk shows, hurled insults in every direction, and somehow made Rosie his personal arch-nemesis. If you had asked him about economic policies back then, chances are he would have started with, well, first of all, Rosie O'Donnell is a total disaster.
Rosie O'Donnell's disgusting. I mean, both inside and out. You take a look at her, she's a slob. She talks like a truck driver. Rosie attacked me personally because I was very happy when her talk show failed. The other thing that failed, and this was a real monster, and everybody was suing her, was her magazine. Her magazine called Rosie was a total disaster. So I loved it. I gloat over it. I think it's wonderful because I like to see bad people fail. Rosie failed. I'm happy about it.
Trump simply could not let it go. Years passed, yet he kept bringing up Rosie O'Donnell like a bitter ex who refused to move on. In 2011, long before Twitter became X and social media was somewhat bearable, he launched another wave of insults. But the real turning point came in 2015 during a nationally televised GOP debate. When questioned about his long history of sexist remarks, Trump had the perfect opportunity to address the issue and perhaps smooth things over. Instead, he smirked, shrugged, and responded with, "Only Rosie O'Donnell." That single moment made it clear. This was not just another celebrity feud, it was an obsession. For years, Trump found ways to take jabs at Rosie, whether through interviews, social media, or public speeches. Even when the topic had nothing to do with her, he somehow managed to bring her up. While other presidents focused on foreign policy and national security, Trump remained fixated on a joke Rosie made when flip phones were still in fashion. His inability to move past their rivalry was beyond excessive. It was downright bizarre. The fact that he continued referencing their feud, even in discussions of national importance, only proved how deeply she had gotten under his skin.
You've written about that famous question and exchange that he and I had at that August 6th, 2015, very first GOP presidential debate. It was 8 years ago now. The whole nation was watching. It was the first. It was exciting. And he and I sparred over, what was definitely a tough question about things he'd said about women. And he interrupted it with only Rosie O'Donnell. And the crowd laughed. And you analyzed that in a way that made so much sense. Can you do that here?
First of all, I'm just realizing how much you changed my life with that question, because the entire direction of my life changed in that moment.
Rosie O'Donnell never backed down. If Trump expected her to shrink away and disappear, he clearly underestimated who he was dealing with. Rosie does not just respond, she fights back, and she fights back hard. She turned every insult into comedy gold, used every attack as motivation, and never let him have the last word. This was not just a war of words. Rosie made sure every comeback hit like a bombshell. And now, the saga continues. Trump is still seething, still finding ways to bring Rosie into his rants, still acting like he is stuck in 2006. Meanwhile, Rosie is still taking shots, still making him spiral, and still proving that no matter how much time passes, she will always be one step ahead.